Hi, my name is Demetria Zinga, and I'm happy to be your host. I created this podcast to encourage women entrepreneurs of faith on your business journey. Join me as I and my fabulous guests help you to discover how to gain kingdom business clarity and turn your profitable passion into a plan of action. You're listening to the Her Business Elevated podcast, episode number 17. So welcome to the Her Business Elevated podcast. I am super excited to have you on the show today to listen in as I talk about things that I hope will be very helpful in encouraging you in your entrepreneurship journey, wherever you are in that process, whether you're at the beginning, middle, or you are very seasoned. I love helping women entrepreneurs of faith. And what I talked about on my last podcast episode was about the shift in the kingdom business clarity concept. Because when I initially started this podcast, I wanted to talk about how to gain clarity so that you could then in turn create a profitable income with your plan of action. So those are things that need to go together. You need to have clarity first, and then once you discover what your passion is, realize how profitable it actually can be online, and then turn that into a plan of action so you can move forward and create that business that has been in your heart for so long, right? But then I didn't want to leave out my faith, because that is a huge part of what I do and why I do it. It actually energizes me. When I take that aspect out or attempt to leave it out so that I can attract more people, I end up losing a big part of what it is that I'm actually doing and a big part of the equation that leads to success. And that's God. Actually, he is the ultimately the reason that I'm able to do all that I do. And so I have to acknowledge his place in my life. And I'm really proud of that because, you know, I love God. I love him so much. And he is the one that gives me the strength, the motivation, the courage, everything that I need. So I have quite a story, and maybe in upcoming episodes, I'll share more about my story, where I came from, why I'm passionate about business the way I am, why I continue in spite of adversity, why I continue in spite of setbacks, why I keep doing what I do. Right? There are so many questions people have asked me, like, well, why are you still trying to do this? And why are you still attempting to keep things rolling when you've had so many setbacks along the way? And I have answers for those questions. So maybe in upcoming podcasts, I'll talk more about my story and why I just keep on keeping on. Okay. And despite the setbacks, I found a number of successes in different ways. Success comes in different packages at different seasons of your life. So I never look at hardcore bottom line numbers for the measurement of success, because where I am today is definitely not where I was 15 years ago. So I've definitely improved, I've increased, and I know that I have further to go. I'm not exactly where I need to be either. So I'm going further, I'm moving ahead, and I'm going places. And so I believe that's kind of the way we have to see our life, that we can't measure where we are today as the sum total of who we are and what we bring to the table. I don't want you to be discouraged that you haven't achieved all of your goals and you haven't done what you wanted to do already. And some people who are listening to this might be thinking, well, by now I should have already done XYZ. By now I should have already improved in this area. By now I should already have that 6-figure income. I want you to be encouraged that your story is different than anybody else's. Don't compare what you're doing and how you got where you're going and how you got to where you are right now with anyone else's story. I don't want you to be jaded by someone's story who was seemingly an overnight success, or maybe they were able to hit those, 6 figures within 9 months. Maybe they were able to hit their $10,000 months within 3 months. I don't know how that works for some people, but it does. And so if you find a coach like that and they're helping you to get where you're going really, really fast, and that's what you need, then I just encourage you just to take some time though and breathe and really think about what God wants you to do with your life, because it's not always the measurement of the number that makes success and makes you happy. So happiness is doing what you've been called to do at the pace that you've been called to do it. And not every season of your life is going to allow you to have the pace that requires a significant and quick and aggressive income boost, right? So some things take a little bit of time and you just have to be patient. I don't know who that word is for, but it's someone listening to this podcast right now. Whatever stage you're in right now, be encouraged that God is using you even in this season. Okay. So I have 3 tips to encourage you about your mindset for success. I did want to give you a couple of updates before I get into our topic. The first thing I want to announce is that my Mompreneurs and Heels podcast is back. So for those of you listening to this who happen to be moms of younger or even teenagers, younger children, teens, and you are building your business as you're raising your kids, that's a whole different mindset and way of life than if you are a woman who doesn't have the responsibility of raising kids any longer. Maybe your kids are grown up and out of the house and you are doing your business without having to balance full-time mothering of younger children in the home with you who are distracting you constantly or who are, they have needs that you have to tend to as you're building your business. So if you are a mother who is an entrepreneur, I have the Mompreneurs and Heels podcast available for you as well. So I would love for you to hop over there. In addition to this one, you can listen to that one for extra support. And that will be found at mompreneursandheels.com. So you can go there now. And I have all 57, I believe, or so episodes available for you. So 57 or 58 at this point. So that's available. And then also I am creating right now, and I'm in the process of creating new platforms for Christian women. God has me in a new season of my life. I am excited. I am moving forward. And so I have some things that are on the horizon that I will be unveiling. And I told you, I think I gave you a little tip of the iceberg of what's to come. I think I might have mentioned it in the last podcast that there were some things on the horizon. So be looking for that, be listening for that. I will be sharing them shortly and they will be unveiling very soon. But I want to get all the things in order first before I unveil it to you guys. So that's the other thing, patience. I'm learning how to pace myself. I'm learning how not to rush into things before I'm ready to unveil, right? So getting things in the back end ready, getting all my support systems together, people who are helping me to create this platform and this product for you all. Okay. Then lastly, I wanted to also encourage you that if you are looking to create a digital product for your business, I do have that course available for you. It's called the Create Your Digital Products course and it's found in Teachable. I will drop a link for that course in the show notes. So you can find the show notes on my blog, which I'll leave, in the show notes also of iTunes. So you're going to find it. If you're in iTunes, you'll find it there. You should find it in Google Podcasts or in Spotify. Wherever you happen to be right now, you should be able to see the show notes of this episode and you'll see these links available. Okay, now we're going to get straight into the empowerment of your mindset. How do you empower your mindset for success? Okay, so I did mention a little bit about success in my past couple of 10 minutes as I've been talking to you. Success can be in the eye of the beholder because success for me might be different than success for you. But whatever that means to you, you know what that is. So you should have an idea of what you want happening in your life and in your business. So it should be written down and it should be taken to a higher source. And that would be God, right? To help you in your success endeavors, whatever you're trying to be successful at in your business, you should have it journaled and you should have been praying over this for some time so that you really want to slather these goals you have in prayer, bathe it in prayer, take it to God. So 3 things to keep in mind. Number 1, know that your uniqueness is desired. And when I talk to women of faith, we oftentimes discredit ourselves because we just tend to do that. I really don't know why we do that, but we tend to discredit ourselves and to take ourselves down a notch or two, just so that we are not bragging and that we're not coming off as thinking too highly of ourselves. We don't want to come off that way, especially if we were raised in a culture and an environment where it was considered a big no-no to talk about yourself or to express your ideas and to make people think that you were bragging, right? So I've always been very sensitive to those things. And it has held me back in my life because I have allowed that mindset to sort of overtake me where I shouldn't say what I can offer. I shouldn't say what I actually can do. Maybe I can do a little more than that. Maybe I can do a lot more than what I'm being asked to do. But if I say that I can do a lot more than that, it's going to look like I'm bragging and, let me just stick with this over here and just be happy with this. And that mindset is not healthy for us as Christian women. If you're a man listening to this, Christian men, it's just not a healthy mindset. So know that your uniqueness is desired, that the reason that you're tailored to do what you can do is because God created you that specific way. It is a uniqueness that only you can do things the way you're doing them. It's a gift from God. So there should be absolutely no shame in showing the world what you can do, because you can only do it because God gave it to you in the first place. So he doesn't want you hiding it. So he desires that you show what you can do and offer your offerings and let your light shine. And know that there are people out there who are attracted to your light and they desire what it is that you offer that's so unique from anyone else. So your uniqueness is desired. People want what you have. That's the first thing to just get clear in your mind and in your heart and get that settled so that we can overcome any business fears and to have an empowerment mindset. Number 2, know that your contributions are necessary. We have to contribute what we have to the table in order that we can help other people, right? That's why we've been given these gifts from God. So in order to grow our business, that's what we want to do, right? Grow our business. Then we need to give back to people to help them in their lives, whatever they're going through. We can help them. We have the solutions. We have the answers. And so we need to contribute our solutions to a society that is hurting and that needs our support. So our contributions are necessary. And number 3, know that you can have the support that you need to succeed. So I want to empower you to know that you're unique and your uniqueness is desired. Know that your contributions are necessary. And lastly, if you need help, if you need support, if you need assistance, if you need a mentoring group, you can find that. There are so many groups available. There are so many opportunities for you to get connected with people that have the same mindset you do and that are trying to do something similar to what you're doing. Why can't you get together and encourage each other? So join mastermind groups. I found myself joining groups and just being around people who are entrepreneurs. It really elevates your mindset. And so that's been super helpful to me this past year, being a part of groups like that, joining coaching circles, being a part of what someone else is doing to bring something to our life. So I'm not always the coach. I need a coach too. So I always have people that are much further ahead of me and I follow them so that I can sort of take from that and grow in my own professional world. And like I said earlier, I do have an announcement coming up, but I don't want to give it away too soon. I really am tempted to say something right now because it would go right along with what I just covered in this episode, and I really want to share it. But I'm just going to hold tight because I believe that's what I need to do. I need to be patient, and I'm going to wait and share that with you guys on another episode. But get ready for elevation, get ready for community, get ready for support. Okay. And I love you guys. I'm so glad that you listened to my podcast and I can't wait to talk to you again next time. If you know of someone who is a woman entrepreneur who has a story to share with this audience, who is empowered and cannot wait to encourage and empower other women. If you've not been on any of my podcasts before, I want to talk to you because I know that I like to go back to the same people sometimes because it's easier, and I like to just go back to people I've already known and say, hey, we'd love to have you again. But I want to give more people a chance to have an opportunity to talk and to share your story and to encourage all of us who are listening. And so we have listeners across the board, not just on this podcast, but I have a homeschool podcast I keep mentioning. So that one's the Christian Homeschool Moms podcast. And a lot of women on the homeschool podcast are interested in this type of content as well, and are also business owners and elevating their businesses. So you'll have access to a variety of audience by not just being on this show, but on the homeschool podcast, as well as Mompreneurs in Heels. So I encourage you to reach out to me if you know of someone who would be interested in being interviewed on this show. For now, I'm just going to ask you to email me until I get all of my websites straightened out the way I want to, and before I announce my new project. So for now, you can reach me at websuccesscoach@gmail.com. That's websuccesscoach@gmail.com. Watch the spelling on success. Okay. And then once I receive your email, and I find that, this is something that you're interested in, then we'll proceed further, and I'll get you a link to how you can find out more about this project. Okay. So I am looking forward to talking to you again next time, and be blessed to your business success.